in this part, we'll create the route. I mean, we'll create a child route for an already existing route. So let's just create one child route for this route. And what we'll do is we'll rename it to details for better understanding. We'll rename it to details, and here we go. So now we want children the already existing route. So the children route for the details need to have the path, and the path over for the home path, that is, if it's just the details route and there's no child route of the details route, then I want to display the first page component. So first page component, I'll just remove this code from right here and I put here. Now I want to have one path where I get IDs. So uh, details of ID, or let's name it category. So category, and this, we need to assign one component. So what I did is I just generated new component named first child component, and uh, I'll assign that, and mistakenly I just first page first page component. Okay, so we assigned a first page component to the default route, a home route of details route, and uh, for the sub route category, we will assign it to first child component. Okay. So let's go and see if these routes are working or not. We are at home route, and it, okay, we need to fix the navbar now, just because navbar might be still pointing to the first. We now need we now want to point this to details route. Okay, and uh, we just change the navbar deta- details. Okay, just name it as category. Category, and this will be details. Details. Now over here it will be details slash movies. Suppose. Okay, just save this file and let's go. See details. Great. This first page component, which is assigned or linked with the home route for the details route, is displaying successfully. Now let's just see the category. So you can see the routes, right? It's getting changed based on what you click. I mean, based on the navbar item you clicked. So when we click on details, it navigates us to details route, and when we click on categories, it navigates us to details slash category. So now I want to access this movies or whatever I send after details, and want to display it in first child component right over here. So what I'll do is, again, I just forgot to mention that in the first HTML, first child HTML, I just changed it, this text from P to H1, which is missing in this video. So make sure if you are doing the same, you just change it to H1. That's fine. Now let's go. Now I want to get this thing and want to display it right over here inside the first child component. So what I'll do is I'll go to .ts file and I need to import activated routes. Activated routed. It was activated. I think it's activated route and it's from Angular HTTP Angular router. Yeah, must be present in this component. And I'll just create one child component. I mean, I'll create one object of this. So inside the constructor, private route activate route. Yeah. So we just created an route, activated route. Now for this route, I want to, so here I just created one variable named category and I want to display this category in my HTML file. So I want to display the category right over here. I'll just save this file. I'll go to this file and right over here we'll change the category and we'll get it from this dot route dot parent snap dot okay. We have something like, oh, I just missed snapshot dot get, right. And over here we want what was the variable? So it's a category. So I'll just copy this category. Make sure I just copied this part. I haven't copied the colon. And I'll just paste it right over here and save this file. Let's just explore. Oh, we can see this now. Let's just change it to TV, or let's just change it to 1 2 3. You can see that whatever the route is, oh, it will be displayed right over here. So this concludes the um, part of route, which will be useful for you to do any project. I mean, in-app navigation, uh, in any project. So now let's get started. Okay, so there are few things we need to make clear before we go ahead. First of all, we have a common page component which we have used in first page component and second page component. So let's go to route and let's see for the second view, second page, first page. Okay. Now inside first page component, we have called the common page component, but so you can call it multiple times. It's not necessary that you can only call it once for any parent component. Suppose this first page is a parent component and its uh, common page is a child component, and we want to call the child multiple times. So we can just do it like this, call it multiple times, and here you can see it's been called multiple times, 3 times. So now, how this could be useful? I mean, this is a common page component. Suppose there is one component which is used frequently, and the structure of that component remains same. Just the data inside that component changes. So how would you do that? Let's learn how to do that. Uh, we'll go to first page component. So what we'll do is first page component is suppose it's a parent component, and common page is a child component of first page. So we want to send data from parent to child. Parent is first page and child is common page. So we want to send data from first page to common page. Now what we'll do is we'll create one variable. So we created one variable, public data, and we can give whatever type we want. We can give object, number, string, or any whatever you like. But I just want to send the string to this common page component. So I just created this variable and add the data I want to send. Now what I'll do is I want to send this, but common page component doesn't has anything which will accept that data. So we need to link those things. So how we'll link this inside the TS file? We'll go to have input just data received, data received any, or let's just, if we already know that we'll be sending a string, then we can do something like this and default value. Okay, so I have created one variable data received, and so whatever data I want to send from parent component to child component, it will be stored in this variable, that is data received. So now let's just go to common page, and right over here we'll display the data received, and I think D was capital. Just make it small. Data received, copy paste it. Great. So now let's see. You can see the default values. Wow. Now I want to pass. Okay, I'll just bring it right over here. So we want to pass this data to the common page. So how we do that? We just need to create the square brackets. Inside that we will have data received, which will accept the data, and what data we want to send. We want to send the data variable. So we'll write the data over here, and okay, so let's give it a message. And now I want to pass message, and data received will receive this message, that is the passing the data, and it will display it on the home page. Not home page, but the first page component. Uh, inside the common page component. My bad. So you understand the flow, that we have a first page component which is displayed for the details route, and inside that we have these three components, that is the same one, the same common page component which we have called thrice. And once we are sending the data, uh, which is stored inside a message variable. So inside the message variable, we have stored the data we want to pass, and we are giving this data and assigning it to the data received part of the common component. So data received is a variable which will receive the data which we assign. If we don't assign anything, if we do not want to pass anything, like in the example to this through second and third instance, you can see that we didn't pass any data. So it will just display the default value which we store over here. And now there are multiple ways of sending the data. So another way of sending the data is I can create a string inside this and write this is another way of sending. Right. Let's see if this works. You can see it works. So I've created one string directly inside this quotes and I'm passing this directly from here. I'm not creating any variable, I'm not storing any variable in my TS file for the parent component. Instead of that, I'm directly passing the string and we can receive it over here, which you can see. So this this would be a good point to end the second part of this tutorial. Till now, you learned how to create the components, how to create the routes, and how to implement routes in the Angular. You also learned how to pass data from parent to child. So, in the upcoming videos, you'll learn how to create a service and how to make a function, how to call your service from from a specific component. And we'll also learn how to make an API call to the backend from the service.